Hello everyone, thank you for coming. I'm really excited about this moment. I'd like to introduce to you Miss Phoenix Rising Star. She's my mentor, dear friend, and I like to believe somehow we've done this many times in other lifetimes. So I want to thank you as well, because without you this wouldn't have been possible. It was the contest, and with all your participation and your want to do this, this is how we were able to create this moment, create this energy, create this vision, and really, harness these energies. And what you saw on video was just a taste of what you're going to get tonight. So I'm really excited for that. What I ask, if you will, for us, please, if you're feeling anything, if you're experiencing anything from this experience tonight, please share that on Temple Beautiful or the Healing Angel Protocol. I've invited each of you to the Healing Angel Protocol page and to Temple Beautiful page. And just kind of share with what your experiences are, or anything you feel that may help other individuals to truly find a resource and harness the healing energies that are available for us. Okay, so enjoy. Again, thank you, and so much gratitude to each of you. We truly appreciate every one of you. Here's Phoenix.
Oh my goodness. So I think all of you know Ayla really, really well. That's why you're here, right? And so I just really want to honor her and everything that she's done with Temple Beautiful. I've known her for a long time. We've been through a lot of things together, and in the last year and a half, I watched her as she just struggled with not wanting to take on leadership and yet feeling so guided in her heart that that was the right thing for her to do. And it was, when we all step into our path, we go through this struggle, right? Of, oh God, I don't want to do that. It's going to be embarrassing. Everybody's going to hate me, and then, but I've got to do it anyway. And she has conquered that. She has conquered that. And she's created a beautiful place that is just at the tip of the iceberg of growth. You can just see it. You can feel it when you walk in. There is so much more that's going to be happening there. Even if you don't see it yet, you are going to be seeing it. So just thank you. Thank you for honoring who you are and helping Pueblo, in the process of creating this temple of beauty.
I thank you for helping me find Pueblo.
Oh, we'll see, this is how it is, right? We help each other. So, wow, thank you again also. I know she's already thanked you for showing up the first time, right, to a Hathor activation meditation. What is that, for heaven's sakes? And then you show up, and then you want to show up again. Now, I'm really honoring you guys because that's pretty amazing. These Hathors, just to kind of repeat some things you probably already know, 5th to 12th dimensional beings, so they don't need a body. We don't necessarily see them in a physical form, although some of you might, and it's okay if you do see them that way. But when beings have evolved into those higher dimensional realms, they don't need a body. They don't really think the way that we think, and they're operating at a very high consciousness level. Such a high consciousness level that it changes everything, right? In our world, so this is the 3D, right? We've got physical things here. And in the 3D, we are also having what we call polar opposites. So we have right and left, and wrong and right, and male and female, things that are opposite each other. And that's what the 3 dimension is all about. It's about stepping beyond that, understanding the lessons and the blessings of that, and then transcending that into a higher place of love. Raising our consciousness in the process in baby steps, or however big leaps we want to be making. And as we raise our consciousness, we find that the world is a more kind and loving place, that it's actually a safer place, that we attract people to us who are kind and loving and gentle, because our consciousness is putting that out there. That's what we're attracting back, right? And it just gets better from that point on. More divine synchronicities start to come in. You hear about an event that you didn't even know about, and then you show up for it, and it's amazing, and it goes on from there. So when you're talking 5th or 12th, then just imagine all the divine synchronicities that they must see all the time. We can't even imagine, right? But we know that it's possible, and we know that we'll be studying into that. When I was getting ready to come and do this, I asked the Hathors, what do you want to talk about? And they said, well, Pueblo is a city of light. And I know that when I posted that, there was a little bit of a, what? Pueblo? Being a city of light? And I think when you live in a place, maybe you don't see all the magic in it all the time. You know, or maybe you just become immune to the magic, and you think that maybe that just happens everywhere, and it doesn't. So I just want to share with you some of the magic that I've already experienced in Pueblo, and then I want to take you through some of the guided visualizations that the Hathors would like you to experience so that you can really experience it as a place of light and growth and expansion, and just know that this is only the beginning and you're part of it. That's why you're here. I mean, you knew that. That's why you're here. So, okay, the first thing that happened, we're up in our hotel room, we're on the 6th floor, and I'm looking out the window trying to get a sense of this downtown, which is really darling. I'm really liking this downtown area. And I'm looking around and I see this woman, and she's got, you know, those kids' pajamas with the feet, you know, and they're like turquoise and
Onesies.
yeah, onesies, yes. And she's now putting it all on the street, and then she sits down on the cement, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. I haven't seen this before, so I just kept watching. And then she had a bag with her, and then pretty soon she's lying down on top of the bag in her onesie. And it was still light out, you know, but I thought, oh, okay, maybe she's homeless, maybe she's ill, maybe she's under the influence, who knows, you know, so I just keep watching. Pretty soon, here comes this man, he comes down the street, he taps her on the shoulder, she doesn't move, he taps her on the shoulder, she doesn't move, he shakes her shoulder, she doesn't move. He's like looking around like this, people are like, all of a sudden, people are running to help. There's a person that stopped their truck, 2 people got out, ran across the street, there's 2 people over here, they're running, one's on her phone, she's clearly calling 911. You could just, there were at least 7 people that stopped to help, not knowing what was going on, just because they were there. I was just sitting there going, oh my goodness, you don't know how rare this is. It's so easy to walk by and just go, not my problem, it's not my problem. I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. But these people didn't do that. They stopped, they helped, they flagged down a cop, the cop came in, then pretty soon the ambulance arrived and they loaded her all up and all the people dispersed and they went exactly where they needed to go. But they showed up, you know, they had showed up. It's pretty amazing, guys. So, pat yourself on the back for being part of Pueblo. So, gosh, I had 3 other stories, and the only one I can think of right now is the man with the cats. So we come back from lunch, and there's this man next to Temple Beautiful, and he's parked his truck, and he's got this sack of food, and he's like putting food out, and all these cats are just like, boom, you know, and I'm a cat lover, so, but I'm an animal lover, you know, and they're just like, oh, and Ayla says he's come there every week for 4 years since she's been there to feed the stray cats. Just out of the goodness of his heart. He doesn't have to do that. Nobody's paying him to do it. He buys his own cat food. She's seen him at Walmart. And this is a person with such a kind heart that he's taking care of the 4-leggeds here. I mean, you guys, this is rare. This is unbelievable. There are beautiful things happening in this city. And you're part of it, or you wouldn't be here today. So, you know, when you see these kinds of things, you go, oh yeah, city of light. I get it. I get that city of light. But there's so much more. There's so much more that we don't know about, right? Ayla tomorrow night is collecting shoes, children's shoes. Because what's the one thing that every kid grows out of, like within 3 months? They're expensive, and every kid's going to need them, especially going into the winter. And now they can come to Temple Beautiful and see if they can find some shoes to wear when their kids need them. What a gift. There's already people giving away coats. There's already people giving away food. You know, one of the things that the Hathors were kind of whispering in my ear this afternoon when I had a few minutes, they said, you know, do you notice there's a lot of those that appear to be homeless here? They said, yeah, I did notice that, and it's cold. Why wouldn't they go to a warm place? And the Hathors were like, well, they come here because there's people that will help them. You know, the greater the need, the greater the light. Here it is. This is what it's all about here. I'm like sitting there with tears in my eyes because I can't say that about Sedona. I can't say that Sedona is extremely generous and helpful, and sometimes, but not like what I've seen in 24 hours here, you know. So you've got it really beautiful here, and we're about to really experience that light that is Pueblo, and we're about to experience your own light within that, and then to see where is this going to take you. You know, when you start shining your light, you know what that means? You can't turn it off. I'm sorry to tell you that. It just doesn't work. You don't want to turn it off because that means that you're doing what you came here to do. And even if you are running across the street to help someone who's lying down on the ground and you don't know if they need your help, or if you're helping to feed cats that are starving and need some food, if that's all you do, not that that's nothing, that is showing up and showing your light. And if you are meant to do even greater things than that, you will know that. You will get that. It will come through in this divine guidance that just shows up for you. You feel it, you know it. And just like Ayla, you may fight it. I fought it. There's things in my life I didn't want to do, and I argued with the angels for months about. And they're like, hello? So you know when it's truth, and you know when it's what you are meant to do. And if that's the case, your light will shine. And it will feel really good to let your light shine, and then you get to make that more light, more shine, step into bigger and better things, and then it just goes on from there. And then who benefits? You benefit, everyone around you benefits, Pueblo benefits, everybody outside of Pueblo benefits. I mean, this is amazing. Right? This is how it starts. It starts with a room like this, and you're part of it. Thank you for that. So, usually when have any of you followed the Hathors that I've been doing on YouTube? Okay, good. Some of you. So I do a monthly regular meditation with the Hathors, and so for those of you that maybe have just heard it that one time at Ayla's Temple Beautiful, or wherever it was you were holding that, you might know that I do a little talk first, and then I kind of lead you into this guided meditation and help you to have your own rich experience. And so this is going to be about the same. So in just a few minutes, we're going to do a guided visualization. And it's all governed by the Hathors. It's their words coming through me. And it's heart-opening. But first what we're going to do is we're going to experience the light of Pueblo so that you can see it from the big picture. And then we're going to chunk it down into your light and help you let your light shine. Now some of you may already know how you want your light to shine, or what you need to do in order to make your light shine. And others of you may be going, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out, and I'm 75 years old. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just allow whatever comes through for you to come through. So some people are very visual, and you'll see things. You may see the forms of the Hathors. I see them as kind of tall, willowy, kind of flowy, kind of a form, if you will, but they're very tall to me. But I hear things a lot. I'm very, very auditory. So they'll have conversations with me, and I can repeat those conversations. I can write them down. They become my books. They become my other things that I do. Some people are more feelers, so you may have sensations going through your body. Maybe you're feeling cold, maybe you're feeling heat, maybe it's just tickles, pressure, different kinds of sensations. Some people have combinations of things. So what I'm saying is just open up all of your senses to allow yourself to receive the information that you need today and tonight and tomorrow and the next day in whatever way it comes to you best. Okay? Oh, I'm so excited. Let's see. Do you have any questions? I'll outline what we're going to do in the meditation, but do you have any questions so far? Or anything you'd like to share? Everybody needs one of you in your group. Keep it going, keep it going. Okay, so here's what we're going to do in our meditation. Everything I do begins with that feeling of unconditional love. So I'm going to teach you how to get into that, how to remember that place, how to be in that place quickly and easily and obviously to the best of your abilities. And if you find that it's just too hard to do, don't worry. I've got a whole lot of suggestions that will help you kind of open that up. So that I think will really help everybody to at least feel like your heart is open as we're stepping into this. And then from that state of love, the Hathors are going to be coming in, and there's at least one for every one of you here. So you know that you're going to be experiencing some kind of energy and some kind of heart language conversation, if you will. A heart language conversation is not necessarily the linear words. I did say that I hear words, and I do hear words, but sometimes it's just this transmission of energy that comes into my heart, and it feels really good, and I have a sense of what it is, but I don't have the words for it. The words will come, and they will come later when you're ready for them. They may just not come today. Today you may just feel really good, but you may get some really good words. So just be open again, because everybody's going to be different. So we start with a place of love. We open up our hearts to receive that heart language. We are introducing ourselves to our Hathor friends who are going to be working with us tonight. And then they have a wonderful guided visualization they want to take you on to help you see the light of Pueblo, and to see your light within Pueblo, and to see your light shine, and to allow it to happen from within your heart out, and then to receive from that point whatever is right for you to receive. Some of you will get very inspired action steps. You'll be like, okay, you're going to quit your job, you're going to be doing this, you can't eat meat anymore, you know, that kind of stuff. Some people get that kind of stuff. Some people don't. Some people would just go, I think I've got to change something, I'm not sure what it is yet. It doesn't matter. It will come. It will come when you're ready. Others of you will just be going, I don't care what I'm getting, it just feels really good to be in this place. And that's really good, because you can always get back into this place. It's getting recorded, so you will always have a way to get back into that place. And there could be a million other things that happen. So during that time, I'm going to be really, really quiet so that you can just experience what you need to experience. And then, at some point, the Hathors will say, okay, we're done now. So I say, okay, we're done now, but please stay in this space for another 2 minutes to just integrate it. This is a really important place to be in, because otherwise we start talking, we start moving around, and we forget all the important things that just happened to us. So 2 minutes of integration, and then if anybody would like to share, then that would be perfect. We would be, this is a very safe place in which to share, and if you don't want to share, that's okay too. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing in the next, I don't know how long that's going to be. We'll be done by 5 maybe? 5, maybe a little later. Okay, any questions? All right, maybe we can we turn up the lights? Oh, that'd be lovely. Oh, isn't this lovely? Is that going to ruin anything? Okay. Ah, I had to have a little drink of wine. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Ayla. The light is so beautiful out there, and the colors are so amazing, and the murals in this city, the artistry in this city, I've never seen another city like it. It's incredible. You guys should be so proud. All right, everybody ready? Okay, so let's just all close our eyes and just center your awareness into your heart space. And your heart space is actually an energetic space that's literally behind your literal heart. So it's kind of like a little back room that is just behind there. Everybody has an energetic heart space, and everybody knows intuitively where that is. So I just want you to put your awareness there for a moment, because this is a very sacred place. And we're going to be spending some time here today with our Hathor friends, but I want you to just locate it first so you don't have to be going, where am I going? What am I doing? Good. And just kind of begin to allow your breathing to become slow and rhythmic at a rate that works for you. That's how you capture that unconditional love. So use whatever way works for you to begin generating those feelings of unconditional love, that memory of love, because that is the true essence of our soul, and that is the origin that we come from. We all come from love. So as you are capturing that and remembering it, it begins to fill up your energetic heart space. And what happens when love comes in like that is it really can't be denied. You can't hold it back. You can't say, okay, that's enough. Because love comes in abundance. So it fills up your heart space to overflowing. And what happens then is it overflows into your physical body. And this love begins filling you from the bottoms of your feet all the way up to the top of your head, just as if you were a glass of water. And the thing about love is that when it's coming in like that and it's touching all parts of your physical form, it's actually offering healing in all of these places. Wherever you might have a physical ache or a hurt or a pain, it's all being healed with this love. And when that love gets up to the top of your head, it spills over again because there's places for this love to move through. So now it starts filling up your energetic body, and we actually have 4 different layers we're working with here. The first one is your physical energetic layer, which is a memory of all your physical experiences, some of which probably need a lot of love right now too. So again, filling up from the bottoms of your feet, all the way up to the top of your head, and touching all these wonderful places with love and healing all these places, and spilling over into the next layer. The next layer being the emotional layer, filling you up from the bottoms of your feet all the way up to the top, and healing any wounded emotions, any pain or suffering, hurts, emotional hurts you might have. Touching all of this with love and spilling over from the top of your head into your mental layer, where your mental beliefs are held. And some of them are really good ones. Like, I love myself is a really good mental belief. But a mental belief that may not be working for you might be something like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'll never be able to do this. And those are just old stories. Those aren't real. So as this love is filling up your mental layer, it's touching and healing all those mental beliefs that don't work for you, that aren't true. And it's healing all of those things and replacing them with better belief systems that work better for you. And that fills all the way up to the top and then spills over one last time into what we call our spiritual layer. And our spiritual layer is a record of all of our lifetimes of experiences, plus all of our goals and aspirations for all lifetimes, including this one. It has a record of all of our soul goals. And what I mean by that is, usually our soul will replicate some things in every lifetime, just like Ayla said, we've done this before. So maybe you've always been a healer, or maybe you've always been a parent, or maybe you've always been a teacher, or maybe you've always been one that just fed lost animals. Or maybe there's so much more that you do. This isn't your first merry-go-round. You've done this before, and it's all here in your spiritual layer. And if there's any pain or suffering there, that's being healed by the love that's coming in and filling you up completely until you feel like this round balloon, like you're just wrapped in cotton wool, filled up with unconditional love, almost like a bouncy ball. And it feels so good. It feels so good. By itself, this is a great meditation. And if you did nothing else every day, this would really help your day to start well or to end well. But we have a little bit more to do. So, from this wonderful place of love, I want you to just be aware that there is a Hathor being here for you. Now you may feel their touch on your shoulder, or maybe you're seeing or sensing them in some way, or knowing them to be present for you. You may hear them, feel that, those funny feelings in your body. But above all, allow yourself to feel the love that's coming from their heart into your heart. And just allow yourself to take that in. Even though you might have thought you couldn't have any more love because you're so filled with it, you can still squeeze some more in. There's always enough room for love. Feeling that, taking it in, making it yours, and then just hand it right back to your helper. Here's some love for you too. And know that your helper is so pleased, so grateful to receive that. Your helper is taking it in and even expanding this love further. And then sending it back to you one more time. Where you're feeling it just move all the way through you. And you're feeling a deep and profound connection between you and the Hathors. One of the things that they are here to help us with is to reach our highest destiny. Well, that's a lot of love. So go ahead and send that love right back to them one last time. And you both are just sitting in this nice little love nest, sharing that love back and forth between your hearts. And as you're doing that, become aware that it's almost like a film screen is coming down in front of you, where the two of you can watch this film together. And what happens first on the film, besides the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is it's like you're looking at our planet Earth from outer space. And you're seeing it on the dark side. So you see where light is, like the lights of the cities, the lights of the eastern seaboard, lights of the western coast, and I'm talking North America here primarily. And you get a sense of Canada and where the lights are in Canada. You get a sense of the United States. And you see how much light is on either coast, but then it's like you zero in, like the camera goes in a little closer, and you start seeing these little pockets of light all over North America. Maybe not everywhere, but you start to see it. And if you zero in, the camera zeroes in a little bit more, you're going to zero in on Colorado. And first you'll notice where Denver is, because that's a pretty big light. Just south of there is Colorado Springs, and that's not quite as big, but it's still pretty bright. And below that is Pueblo. Notice the light of Pueblo. Just really allow yourself to gaze at this to the best of your ability. And know that you are a big part of this light. The camera's going to drill in a little deeper until you are in the midst of this light. And the light is so bright and so almost glaring You can barely open your eyes and see anything of Pueblo around you, but you know you're in the heart of it. You're just feeling the light. You're knowing the light. You're sensing the light. And then you realize you are the light. Just really feel that and know that. And see, the light is calling you. Now it's during this moment that your Hathor helper, if they haven't already, is going to begin sharing some things with you about you being the light, you being your light. Allow yourself to receive in whatever way is right for you. Remembering you may not get those exact words, it may be more of a heart language. It feels right, you sense it, and the words will come later. It may not be so important what you do. It may be more important that you are. Take another 30 seconds to 45 seconds to finish up. That feels complete for now with your Hathor helper. Just continue to sit in silence for another 2 moments or minutes. to allow yourself to integrate what you just experienced. Necessary to share. Sometimes it's kind of gets in the way, but if you are a person that loves to share or would like feedback, this is your time. You can just go, I need to say something. Yes.
I felt a lot of this body impressions. And so thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for sharing. Like my heart's wide open. Anybody else want to share?
On the hunt right now for tissue because my nose is
Oh,
running and running and running.
Oh, and I don't think we have any here, but there
I
is.
might have something in my Mary Poppins bag. Let me
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Mary Poppins.
I have something like that.
I just put the whole thing in.
Do you have an umbrella there too? Didn't she? Isn't she the one who just?
Oh, look, brand new.
All
This is
right.
I'll pass it down.
3 months.
Yeah, oh no, umbrella. I took it out because it was black and it was
Oh, they're
stuck up.
okay. Okay. And I just have to know the
Great cotton.
Oh, okay, cool.
What is going on with this
Okay,
thing?
I
I've shut
wanna
it
share,
off
but
like
you know,
how
I'll
many
share.
times?
So I kind of stopped loving Pueblo. And I mean, we got voted best place to live, what, 1991, 1992? And I loved growing up in Pueblo. I loved the 70s and 80s, and then I started not liking Pueblo. But you helped me see a different light. And you know, we've talked about this, Ayla, about how Pueblo has metamorphosed. And so I was asking my helper, and they just reassured me. About 15 years ago, a young lady and I, she's passed away, Lois Soderman, and I started Care and Share in Pueblo at First Baptist Church. That was her and I's baby. And we did it for about 5 years, and we passed it on. And what they told me was that I was going to get back into feeding people. I was going to get back into helping. And I'm like, am I going to win the lotto? They said, no. Oh. I asked twice, and they no. But they said that I wouldn't need to, but I would still be able to, I'd be able to help. And I just was so excited. And I saw myself with all these people in need. And I realized that they feed these homeless people, food tastes like cardboard, and I'm like, oh no. And I just started feeding, it was just, I just feel so warm and fuzzy, and they told me that people would know my name, that I would help, and I just love my helper, and I'm trying not to cry because Ayla knows I'm a crier, and I'm really trying to fix myself. And,
Well, your Kleenex are down there.
I know, right? And I saw myself feeding the masses in Pueblo, and thank you for bringing love back to Pueblo, because I started really not liking Pueblo again. I'm sorry, Pueblo, forgive me.
Wow, that is a beautiful vision.
So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, and you know, whoever's meant to help you will just gravitate to you, so you don't have
That's
to do
what
this
they
alone.
said.
Yes.
Here's part like why we call on other resources because it's no secret our town is falling apart. And when you see incidents like what you just experienced last night, that's on a daily basis.
Yeah.
all the money in Springs.
They shut everything down in this town to help those people, so that's why it's like we need to go around that to where it's still attainable.
Yes.
There's a way to do this.
Yes.
We need to start relying on us and not Pueblo. Does that make sense?
Yep, we need help.
It's your light
Yes.
that makes this great.
Yes.
Mm.
And I think that was just like my release, because, you know, I share all the time, but I wanted to speak to you guys, but, you know, I'll be honest, this morning I was angry because it was my own issues, but when we're going through this meditation, it's maybe something underlying that, because we shouldn't have the problems we have here in Pueblo with the resources we have here in Pueblo and the energy that we have in Pueblo. We're a honesty. There should be no reason why we're going through this, so it has to start with individuals. Even if it's this group here, we're on a faith, but just keep that faith and know it. Don't think it's all nonsense or voodoo or whatever. No, it's very attainable. I've seen it. It's just when I'm in it and I have no help, no resources, you gotta get out of Pueblo to see what's going on in Pueblo.
And see it through someone else's eyes.
Yes, or see it through their heart.
Mhm.
We see it through our eyes, and everyone has a different perspective, but we all feel what we feel here. And like when you say that, that's like hurtful.
It is, it's embarrassing, and Pueblo is amazing, an amazing little town.
It is.
Little big town. I just
It
made
is.
a joke.
I was reading an article about a chef, a French chef, trained in Switzerland, and this was in New York, and he looked around at the population of homeless people and said there isn't enough being done. So on Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings, he opens up his restaurant from like 6 in the morning until 10 and feeds gourmet meals
That's
to
awesome.
anyone who comes in, because he said they never get a gourmet meal. And I can do that. That's something I can do. He has all of his wait staff. They volunteer to come in. They serve. They treat them like human beings. And he said, you know, it isn't so much about the food. It's about how they're treated with dignity. That's what makes the difference here. And that's how he's letting his light shine.
I read an article too, and they said they did statistics, and it wasn't just here, they went everywhere nationwide, and they asked homeless people, what's the one thing that you wish you had? And 90% said eye contact.
Eye contact.
That's,
Wow.
That's disgusting.
No, that's an opportunity.
It's,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I mean, yeah, that's a sad, you know, because there's so much in the eyes, and you don't know their story.
They're like
But more
invisible.
so we could be that person so easily.
I'm trying. Sorry, I have Tourette's.
No,
Sorry.
it's all right. Anyone else want to share? Yeah.
So my job is to allow everybody to know that there's places to go, to remember.
Oh,
Pueblo is beautiful. Pueblo is very beautiful. We have Liberty Point. We have the reservoir. We have so much to remind ourselves locally that it is beautiful. And remember that we can go to those places just so that we can be more in tune to what we're supposed to do. And it's out there, and make sure you utilize that. We don't always need to leave Pueblo. Go to the places that are local, that you can find the light again, for sure.
Go hug a tree. It sounds silly. People make fun of that. but
No,
it's
it's
so
awesome.
true.
It's
Yes.
so true. It's so true.
Yes. Try to hug squirrels, but
They don't like
Yeah.
us.
I do, I feed them all the time.
thank you for that.
oh, I love. You have an awesome. You can lead them to us. We'll feed them. We'll feed the masses.
I had something to share. There's been a couple instances where I've seen amazing things happen, like you were talking about people were helping. And I posted, every time I see one, I post it on Facebook, so I'm going to reshare them tonight so that you can read the stories that I've seen. But I have this video of, it was early morning and the roads were not busy. It was me and this other car, and they were in front of me, and I had just pulled up, and their blinkers were on, and I was wondering what was going on, and I looked around, and this man got out of his car to help a homeless, not a homeless, but a blind man who got lost in the middle of the road. He was like trying to find where he's going. He like jumped out of his car and just stayed in the, like where the light was, like it was green and everything, and he's just slowly walking this man across the street. And I see him talking to him. And then he runs back to his car, and I stood up and I was like, that was really nice of you to do that. Like, thank you for looking out for people and doing that. And he's like, yeah. He's like, now I'm going to go drive over here and pick him up and take him to Walmart because he doesn't know where it is. And it was like a block away. And it was just so amazing. I almost cried. Like, it's so sweet just to see, like, people are always ready to jump in and help. Another situation, I was on the way to Walmart and I saw this woman's car had broken down, and she had her two teenage daughters jump out of the car and help push it up, and they're trying to push it up a hill. And like within seconds, like 3 trucks pulled over with men, pulled out the chains and like hooked her up, and they were all working together and shaking hands, and just, I've never seen something happen where somebody didn't jump in and help right away. I got a flat on the highway like 3 years ago, and like I didn't even have to do anything. I got out to look at it, and like 2 sheriffs pulled up to help me get out and change my tires. And I have like pictures and stories about all this stuff. Like, I'm always seeing amazing things. Like, it may be like right now a low vibrational town, but it is getting better. And the one thing about it is that everybody knows that everybody in this town needs help. Everybody knows that we're all just here working together, and everybody has been in the situations that everybody else has been in and has seen the bad stuff. So it's like everybody understands what's going on here, and everybody is working together, at least what I see around me. And it's just, it makes me love it here, because I've been to other places too where like people don't care and they ignore you, and it's just, it makes me grateful to be here. And like Ayla was saying, I read that article as well, and just to add a little bit onto that, I guess the study was saying basically that like sometimes we feel afraid or sad, or like that maybe we don't have something to share with homeless people, so we try to like look past them to avoid them. Like, maybe it hurts us more to look at the situation that we're in, so we kind of just like ignore that we're there. And since I've read that, I've just like been trying to at least smile or acknowledge somebody, you know, because they're saying that they just feel like they're invisible, and it doesn't help their condition at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a nobody, I'm not even here, and it just makes them go crazier. And that's like, I think psychologically, like that's the one thing that like humans can't stand, is like being solitude. Like, if you're alone forever, like you could die from being alone. We have to stick together. And these people are already at such a low point that it doesn't help to just ignore them and pretend like they don't exist. So just based off of that and what I've been doing, just invite everybody else to at least like smile or nod at, even if you don't have anything, just, you don't have to talk to them, but at least give eye contact and show a little bit of love, because they can actually feel that energy coming to them, and it helps heal them a little bit as well. Yeah.
It's a perfect example too of, you know, as our own consciousness raises, we draw to ourselves more magic, more divine synchronicities, the things that are joyful and high vibrational, and just, you know, seeing those experiences and witnessing those experiences, you know, just are a perfect example of the world can be a better place as we step in and allow it to be from that place of love.
It's amazing how just sharing a couple experiences, you think of how many more you witnessed and recognize that yes, we are kind, and yes, why do I keep the vibration low in Pueblo myself? I agree with the people saying it sucks, and it doesn't, you know, and it really, really doesn't. And it's just the awareness of, we have people, and it hasn't happened for a while because we haven't had snow here in a really long time, besides 3 days. But we even have people who just park themselves on hills with chains around their tires, getting people off and out of ditches. And like, we are kind and we are amazing and we are the light, as you say. So thank you for really bringing that home, for sure.
Thank you, Hathors. It was all their idea and their words, but...
And we are winners.
Yes! Yes!
We won this.
Yes,
this awareness
exactly.
to come to us, for sure.
Oh,
So thanks everybody for their participation as well, because without you, we all couldn't come and recognize what we have at home, for sure.
That's right.
This is a light of mine. Only the light is shining. Hide under a bushel. No! Only the light is shining.
Is there anybody else that wanted to share that didn't get a chance?
Every day, over on the south side, there is a man in a wheelchair. And I don't care when you go by there, and it could be cold, be snowy, he's always there and he waves at everyone. And I can be absolutely lost in thought, mad, late, whatever, and every time I see, it just, it grabs you.
Yes.
He does that every day. Just sits out there and waves.
I want to be that person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. So, just kind of related to what you were saying about helping across the street. So in Sedona, in August, that's when tarantulas migrate. And they have their regular paths, right? And I am an animal lover, and so I've been known to do some really crazy things. So I love to go for a walk, and on one of my walks, here was this tarantula. And first he was on the side of the road, so I'm like watching him because I'm thinking, you know, there's a lot of bikers, there's a lot of cars that go really fast. I didn't want anything to happen to this tarantula. And it starts to cross the road. And of course, they're not going really fast, you know, they walk like this, and so it's a pretty big road. And I'm looking at that and I'm going, oh God, I gotta do this. So I go out on the road, and I'm standing there like this, going, please God, just don't let me get hit by a car. I'm just trying to do my best here. I'm just trying to do my best. This tarantula, no cars came. The tarantula gets almost to the end, stops, turns around, goes down. And I'm like, okay, I think I needed this for whatever reason. So it made it all the way over back to where it started, and I just blessed it and said, okay, that's enough for today. Thank you so much.
The grass wasn't greener on the other side.
I guess not. I guess not. Well, there probably is more than one. But I think for me too, just really conquering the fear of looking really stupid, standing in the middle of the street, you know, just in case a car came up, and I thought, I don't care, I have to do this because I'm just really respecting all life when I do this. But more so, spiders are about writing your story, right? And here it was writing a story. And then it was rewriting its story. I like that. Rewriting stories, that's a good one. So that's what I got out of that. Anybody else want to share? Oh, sure.
I guess I want to say that I've already been doing this, but I really feel supposed to be in this working with the animals. Taking care of the dogs. If there's a homeless person, I'll get, well, if there's somebody there, I don't know, if there's somebody there with a pet, I'll ask them if it's okay if I get them some food, you know, so it doesn't offend them, or, you know, and if they need something.
Right.
I'm really just drawn to the animals, feeding the birds and the squirrels. And I feel like there's something, I feel like there's something there for me to do that will help Pueblo Hill too, like more support animals, or, you know, helping to train in that way, help some of these folks to get across.
Yeah. Right. And so just allow it to develop. You know, that's what, you know, the first aha moment comes in, and then the baby steps come in as to how to do it. And then magic happens. So let's just let that unfold. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah.
Can I throw one more thing in? So I don't know if anybody knows about Law of Attraction, but basically 4 years, I started getting outside and enjoying the different nature things we have here in Pueblo. And I started seeing amazing things in nature. Like I thought we saw reindeer. They were like, they had huge bucks and they were like fuzzy and they were right across the fence just staring at us and they didn't move. And that same day on a hike we saw little frogs jumping across the road. They're just so tiny. And I just want to say, like, every time I was able to be really grateful for what I saw in Pueblo and like other people helping people or meeting somebody amazing, I just really held on to my gratitude for that and just noticed it. And the next day something amazing happened. And then I grateful, thank you so much. And then the next stuff, it's to the point where like I hardly see any bad stuff anymore. Maybe it's still